Oh no! It's snow! We were like, oh, looks like snow. No, it's a rock. No, it's snow. I wonder what that is. Whatever it is, I mean, it's pretty big. It just blows my mind that we have gone from like Young Guns, Louis L'Amour, typical Western desert to like alpine, just forest and patches of snow in like no time. I mean, it's just incredible. Morning. It is morning time and it is pretty early. I got out of camp before 7. The goal was to get out at 6. Well, the goal was to get out early because today we are wanting to do 25.2 miles to Ghost Ranch. Now, Ghost Ranch is actually on a little alternate. It's pretty much the same distance as the official CDT. It's just that they have lodging and laundry and showers and all of that good stuff. And tomorrow is Aaron's birthday. So we thought it would be pretty cool if, you know, he got to spend his birthday somewhat in some kind of civilization and get like a real meal and stuff. So we're gonna take that alternate. A lot of people do because they have packages sent there. So anyway, the goal was to leave camp this morning at about 6, or at least as early as possible, so we could get 25.2, you know, by some kind of decent time before the visitor center there is closed and maybe while they're still serving food and stuff. So I got up at right about 6, a little before, and I was like, hey, Aaron, and I was gonna try to talk to him about some of the terrain today. Ooh, fence style. I was gonna try to talk to him about some of the terrain today and, you know, miles and stuff. And I didn't hear anything. I was like, Aaron, he was gone. He gone. So I guess he's really wanting to stay in a place, again, that has a real bed after not fully probably recovering from his 73-mile stretch with no sleep. So anyway, we made the joke yesterday, or at least I thought it was a joke, like race you there kind of thing, but he's sneaky. He got out before I did, so I'm obviously still gonna try to rush there as fast as I can today. But anyway, yeah, I guess I've really lost that race. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on him in the future when we do something like this, because he's sneaky. Well, when you got a dry year, you got fire restrictions. It looks like we can still use our stoves at least, but no fires. Going on hell. Holy crap-a-moly, y'all. I just saw a freaking mountain lion. I didn't know what to do, so I blew the harmonica that I have that I've been practicing Mary Had a Little Lamb with, and then like it kind of still stood there, and then I'm like, oh my God, did I make myself sound like a bird and now it wants to attack me more, you know, or like I was in pain? I've said it before and I'll say it again, but you're not a real thru hiker unless you've crapped your pants. And for lunch today, I'm having loaded baked potatoes with a cheese stick. Aaron and I messaged with one another, got a dab of service after I saw that mountain lion, and he was about a mile ahead of me at that time, and I'm thinking if I push about 3 miles per hour, I can get there by 5, so hopefully I'll get there just a little bit before 5. And we had Googled it yesterday when we got service, and it said that they closed at 6. But then we heard 5 from a hiker, so hoping that it's actually 6. But regardless, hopefully one of us will get there before they close, whatever time it is. Aaron said he tried to call, but they didn't answer. Pretty sure they're open though, because I know that hikers have been going through there. So anyway, I reckon just have to go as fast as we can and then find out when we get there. And now we're back to kind of desertous terrain, but the ground is looking a little more red. And I noticed we could see the Colorado mountains yesterday. I noticed that there's a little bit more red in those mountains that I could see. So pretty excited for even more and more changes. Excuse me. Don't run. Oh. Bless it. I think I'm coming in the world. Ooh, this one's coming after me. Look, lady, I done faced a mountain lion today. I am not afraid of you. Oh! Excuse me. I'll go around. Okay. Thank you. Darn nabbit. All right, so the official CDT continues up that way, and the Ghost Ranch is that way. So that's the way I shall go. But check out this awesome body of water. We ended up hitting the highway because, as I said before, we were trying to rush to get there to get 25 miles by 6 p.m., which is about the time dinner is. We were afraid that we were gonna not get there and figure out, you know, where everything was located and be able to pay for dinner and make dinner in time. So what we did is we decided to hitchhike from the highway because there was a decent amount of traffic. We got to Ghost Ranch in time with the hitch to get a room squared away, to get a meal ticket for dinner, and to get down to the food hall and to eat dinner. So it was a good call. But then we had to hike those 3 or 4 miles from the highway to Ghost Ranch, right? Because gotta have that continuous footpath. So eating lunch, we ran into this guy who is volunteering at Ghost Ranch and offered, you know, like, hey, I'll drive you down the road so that you can walk back. So it all ended up working out, which we figured it would, but we were just hoping that from Ghost Ranch we wouldn't have to walk 3 or 4 miles to the highway where we were picked up, and then 3 or 4 miles back, and ended up having to do double miles. Gimpy hikers. You know you got a whole bed up there. I'm going out of my mind. Oh, if the pain stops and starts. All around, we just had a great time at Ghost Ranch. Got to hang out with some other hikers and talk to some of the locals, and it was just a lot of fun and a nice break. And now we've got 50 miles until get off trail for my sister's graduation for about a week or so. So just have to knock out this 50 miles today, tomorrow, and the next day, so shouldn't be too bad. But tonight, Aaron actually gets birthday number 2, because you can't have a trail birthday without actually getting something on the trail. So he kind of gets 2 birthdays. He knows that I've got a little something that I've been toting since Cuba, but doesn't know what it is. It's not a whole lot, but you know, anything on the trail for your birthday is exciting. Happy birthday to you. Who feels like hiking today? Well, I didn't feel like hiking today, but once I got out here and saw how pretty it was gonna be today, that's kind of changed. I'm actually really enjoying all these aspens and green grass and intermittent sunshine. It's great. I think it's gonna be a beautiful stretch leading up to when I gotta get off trail. So Aaron has the upgrade to his ultras, the what did you call it?
The THRU-HIKE special.
Yeah, it's extra ventilated. But he said he didn't have enough money to get it to both of them. Well, I mean, we did partially. So these fellas are saying that this is probably a wolf track. I think if I saw one of those, I would crap my pants. First, a live snake. The other 2 I've seen were mashed on the road. That is so cool. Go, go, you can do it. You're almost there. Where's the trail? Playing the game of hide and seek. I'm gonna go through this way. I don't know that it's through here, I'm just... This feels like north.
And this is like 7:30 in the morning or something like this. So I called Jeff and finally got an answer.
Who ordered the snow? Well, it is snowing, and I mean, I guess it makes sense. We're up above 10,000 feet. I think we're at like 10.5, 10.30, something like that, but luckily not a whole lot, but nevertheless, frozen water is falling from the sky. Well, by all means, go ahead.
Right. Oh,
I'm hoping to catch a fall.
Catch me slipping?
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Never that. Ain't me.
Watch me fall down here joking about a fall.
All the times I fell.
Yeah, your video ends with the sky.
Yeah. Well, it wouldn't be the first one. Jungle Gym.
Show up.
Oh, now. I was talking about earlier how I didn't really feel like hiking today, and it's probably because whenever there's this deadline, and it's not like, you know, you got to make it to a certain place for food at a certain time, because that's a little bit more exciting, but whenever it's a deadline of like, you have a flight that you got to catch at a certain time, so you got a certain amount of miles to do to get to a road, to go to a town where you have to fly, and just that like looming deadline, and the fact that I've spent money on a plane ticket to go home, you know, I guess it makes me a little anxious, you know, and then it's like, no matter what happens today, I gotta get those miles done because, you know, I gotta catch a flight day after tomorrow, and so it's like you're forced to do it, you know, and it feels like I don't want to go to school today, you know. And the thing is, I would probably do about the same mileage anyway, so, but it's just a different vibe or perspective being like obligated or having to versus, you know, just doing it because you want to, because Canada, you know. So I think that that's probably why I tell folks who are gonna thru hike, you know, you think that it'll make you feel better to have travel plans already figured out for the end. But the truth is, it could actually add stress and make you not enjoy yourself as much because you're like, oh, well, I want to take a zero and hang out with this cool group of people, but you know, I gotta finish by September 25th because it's when my plane ticket says that I have to finish by, you know. So just keep that in mind if you're planning a through hike for the future. Yesterday, Aaron was going a little bit slower than me, Perk, and some of the other folks that we were hiking around because he's got a shin that's bothering him. So this week of break coming up is gonna be good. And I told him, you know, he could have gotten off before and then met up with me after graduation or whatever, but he was just persistent that he was gonna push through and get off at the same place as me. And so anyway, last night set up camp and camped a little bit shy of what I was aiming to because I was like, well, you know, maybe he'll do some night hiking and catch up. But I saw a headlamp come through camp last night after everyone had kind of gone to bed and settled down and all the headlamps were out. And I thought, now is that Aaron night hiking? And well, if it is, he'll probably set up camp here and I'll see him in the morning. And if not, then, you know, maybe it's just somebody else getting up to go use the bathroom or something like that. And so anyway, this morning when I woke up, I was like, Aaron, was that you that came through last night? And I hear nothing. And everyone else except for Perk had already packed up and left camp. So anyway, I got up, no signs of Aaron. And I thought, well, now I don't know. You know, is he ahead of me and he just kept pushing through last night, not hiking further? Or is, you know, was it somebody using the bathroom? I don't know. And now I don't know if he's behind me or ahead of me and whether to wait on him or not. And so then I found a hiker text this morning that let me know. And now I know that, you know, I can just push ahead full steam and go ahead and get to the road where we're leaving from. So when you don't have service in your hiker, I mean, this is just one of those examples of the ways that hikers communicate and we find a way to, you know, make things work even if it's not the way that people normally do things nowadays. Aaron did come through because his ultra prints look different than anyone's. On every through hike I've done, I've had to go home for graduation. So I'm not sure what it would be like to have a through hike where I didn't have to leave in May and go home. And honestly, it's a very bittersweet feeling. You know, I'm very excited to get home and see my family. And of course, I would miss my brothers and sisters' graduations for the world, but it really bums me out because you get out here and you hike around some awesome people. And I mean, I'm sure when I come back, I'll meet some great folks like I have, you know, every time I've had to leave and go on a through hike. And I guess, you know, the sunny side of that is like I get to meet more awesome folks that I wouldn't have met otherwise. But the backpacking world is such a small community. Ended up running into several people yesterday, and it was really nice hiking around that many folks on trail. I wasn't looking forward to the miles really, but then, you know, run into all these cool people and you're talking and introducing yourselves and all of that, and it just makes the miles go by so much faster. And then on top of it, what I was saying is it's such a small community because there's a guy named Daniel, and he and I crossed paths last year on the PCT. He was going southbound and I was heading northbound, and we had stopped and, you know, kind of talked for a bit, and I was like, you know, this fella's cool. This is somebody I could hike around. I mean, that's like most of the folks out here, you know. But anyway, then lo and behold, like yesterday as me and Perk and Aaron were packing up and getting ready to leave camp, like we run into Daniel, and it just feels like even though you've only crossed paths with another hiker maybe once or twice on another trail, it's like you've known them your whole life. And so it was really cool getting to, you know, spend the day catching up. And a lot of the folks on this trail have done other hikes, so, you know, you get to talk about the AT with them and the PCT with them and your favorite parts and how this trail compares. And it's just I don't know, it's just fun. It's like you'll have so much in common even though you hadn't even really spent that much time around one another. But the backpacking community is just such a small world and such a tight-knit community that, like, where else do you randomly cross paths with somebody twice in your life, you know? And I don't know, and just have so much to talk about. So it's just a really cool experience and nothing that I've seen anywhere else in my life. One of the things that continues to amaze me about the backpacking community is how giving everyone is out here and how much of a camaraderie there is. So some of the fellas yesterday were mentioning that they were a little short on food. Well, I'm about to get off trail, right? So I can definitely spare some food. And so I gave them some of my food, and then one of them was talking about, so, you know, what's going on with Aaron's leg, and told him, well, his shin's bothering him a little bit, but, you know, we're about to get off and he'll have a break and all. And he was like, well, one of the luxury items that I always carry is like a wrap and some tape and stuff like that, but I carry this stuff still in case it can help somebody else. And I was like, that is so awesome. So he gave me this wrap, the saying the trail provides, you know, it really does. And when you need something, suddenly there it is. I don't know, we just all help each other out. And it's like literally people that you don't even know, but you know, because you're all going through the same thing. So it's just cool, and it's not something that can really be explained to its full extent. It's just something that you have to get out here and experience.